Okay, fifth graders, this is 13.4, and this is the last section in Chapter 13, and then we'll wrap up Chapter 13 next week, just doing some of the review. So it starts off with, it says, how can you use reasoning to solve problems? And I've said this before, and I'll just say it again, that we all might use some different kind of methods or steps to reason out a problem. It says Rose here has 3 albums for her soccer cards. She gets 7 more cards for each of her albums. For her birthday, how many cards does Rose have in all? And they go through the steps and explain it, and you can read that for yourself here. My first thought was, well, let's see here. She's got 3 albums, and then if you look at it carefully here, it says there's 22 cards in each album. So I thought to myself, well, what's 3 times 22 equal? Well, that's 66. And then it says she received for her birthday 7 more cards for each album. So what's that? 3 times 7, right? What's that equal? 21. So add the 2 together, and what do you get? You get 87. 87 cards. And of course, if you read down at the bottom here, that's what she's got, 87 cards. So that's the way I would have solved it if we walk through the way they did it. Let's see, you need to find out how many cards Rose has in all. Can use a diagram. And they set that up here. There's 22 cards in each of her albums. And so they did a little block diagram here. This represents 22 and this represents 7. And of course they did 3 of them. And it'd be 3 times. And I kind of blocked that out there, but you can see it right here. 3 times 22 plus 7 equals, what's 22 plus 7? That's 29. What's 3 times 29? And of course it is 87. So that's how you would do this one. And again, there's more than one way to solve these, and all of us might do something a little bit different here. Let me move this up a little bit. It says, how can you use the distributive property to write an expression equivalent to the one given above? So they're talking about this expression here. So one way you could use the distributive property would be about 3 times 22. 3 times 22. I'm going to put that in parentheses. Plus what? 3 times 7. Okay. That's how you would use the distributive property. Okay, guided practice. Oh, wait, there's something I wanted to show you guys here. They were talking about, what were these, soccer cards? So I've never collected baseball cards. I know some people do. And I know some baseball cards are worth quite a bit. So let me show you one baseball card here that was sold at auction in 2016, so 4 years ago. 4 years ago, this card was sold in 2016. And, what was the fellow's name? I'm drawing a blank on it. He had kind of an odd first name, and I'm drawing a complete blank on his name. Anyways, he played baseball around 1909, 1910, 1911. This particular, not this exact one, this picture, the card looks like this, but the one that sold in 2016, 4 years ago, it sold for if I can get this to right here, $3.1 million. $3.1 million for a single baseball card. Holy cow. That's crazy. And there's lots of cards that sell for, you know, over $100,000. So yeah, gosh, maybe I should have gotten into collecting baseball cards. They might be worth a lot more by now. Okay, guided practice reasoning. Todd has 4 baseball card albums. All right, so that's probably important information. Like the one pictured. Okay, he lets his best friend Franco choose 5 cards from each album. How nice of him. How many cards does Todd have now? Well, okay, so this is the album they're talking about. They give us a little bit of information right there. It's going to come into play. There's 42 cards in each album. All right, and his friend Todd got 5 out of each album. How many cards does Todd have now? I think you guys can figure that out. It says write an expression to represent the total number of cards in Todd's albums that's important, before he gives the cards to Franco. So you guys could do one there. Explain how your expression represents the quantities and relationship between the quantities. Well, just write the expressions. I'm fine with that. Do number 2 here. Write an expression to represent the total number of cards in Todd's albums after he gives some cards to Franco. You can do that one. And number 3 here. How many cards does Todd have after he gives some cards to Franco? Well, we kind of answered that one up above. Wait, did we? How many cards is... Yeah, that's silly. Actually, you don't need to do number 3. I'm going to cross that one out because that's really answered. Whoops.